up, gangstas? Right now, the moon is at 74.7% illumination in the sign of Scorpio. Going towards that half moon in Sagittarius on between March 3rd and 4th. Or is it the 2nd and 3rd? It's one of those days. Yeah, so going from water into fire energy, let's see how this is going to affect you. Because it's pretty transformative, you know. I feel that water is all about intuition and, you know, self-actualization, you know, those kinds of things, you know, diving into your emotional state, really checking in there. And then the fire is like the motivation, right? The inspiration, the, you know, like that energy of just pursuing whatever, you know, whatever it is that you're wanting to pursue, right? If that's art, if that's a hobby, if that's, you know, you're like, that's when that inspiration comes, especially in the sign of Sagittarius. Like, I've never met a Sagittarius that wasn't super creative, you know. So yeah. Let's see. We have vegans, solitude, independence, and peace. Right? It doesn't necessarily mean you're vegan. This is very earth energy, right? This is, it's very like Virgo energy, like that hermit energy. It's about reflection. It's about feeling powerful in your independence, feeling at peace with where you're at in life, you know. And, you know, sometimes we're not completely content with like all of our circumstances. However, it's like right now you feel like you're in a good spot, right? Or you will be. And then we have the third eye, visions, manifesting, and meditation. You could be getting downloads through like deja vu or dreams. It's like something really comes through for you here, and I feel that you could be activating certain abilities too, you know, when our chakras start opening up, and then you start like experiencing like clairvoyance and, you know, telepathy and those kinds of things. And it's not as rare as people make that out to be, you know. It's like there were times when, like, for example, there's a great example of this. Like, one time, my sister and I, we had dropped acid with our friend, and like, I was sitting there talking to our friend, and we're having, like, a full-blown conversation. My sister's, like, sitting between us, and we're just sitting there, you know. And she looked at both of us and she's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know? And I was like, what? And she's like, your eyebrows are moving. You guys look like you guys are talking, but you're not fucking saying anything. And we were tripping balls. Like, I thought we were saying something, you know? Like, and then when we, like, reiterated what we were talking about, it was like we were both on the same page, and it was like so inexplicable. Like, I was just like, wow, that was sick, you know. Like, it felt like, because when you're on like acid, for example, it's like you're not really working in your material self, you're like in your energy self. That's where you're identifying as. And so like you transcend like the third dimensional senses, I mean, naturally, you know. And it's pretty dope. But, you know, also it's one of those things that I don't recommend to everybody. You know, I think that's a personal journey kind of thing. So take it as it resonates, you know. So I am gonna use Wonderland tarot deck for this reading. This is one of my favorite decks. I say that about every deck, though. I just really, like, I do. I say they're all one of my favorites. I have a deep connection with all of my decks. They have their own personalities and their own vibes, you know, so it's like, that's how I pick them out for different readings. I'm like, does this vibe fit, you know? And this is the vibe, right? We're going down the rabbit hole. We're going to see where you're at and what you're expecting. What are you manifesting? You know, even when we're not intentionally manifesting, we're still manifesting. It's like, what are you focused on? What are you daydreaming about? You know, what are the things that you think about? Because that is ultimately what you're bringing into your reality. If you focus on conflict and failures and, you know, things like that, that's what you'll manifest. If you focus on things that make you happy, you know, or like positive outcomes, you know, you envision your successes along the way, then it's like, that's what you're gonna manifest. And I'm not saying to like hyper fixate on the outcome either. Just like allow yourself that. Like if you notice, she's like sitting there daydreaming, right? And then looking at this imagery, it's like this is where your head's at. And I just feel this energy, like you are bringing something into your third dimensional reality. What, we're not sure of yet, but I feel like you have an idea as I'm talking about it. I feel like it's coming to your mind. Interesting. So we've got the Five of Swords in reverse. This is bringing your walls down, right? This is letting your guard down. This is letting people in, you know, because Five of Swords is like about protecting your energy. It's about, you know, disarming the enemy by not giving them anything, right? And in the reverse, this is like vulnerability, right? This is allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to break down the walls. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my blanket. I'm a bit cold. So, okay. So we're letting the walls down. Then we have the Knight of Wands. I do see communication either coming to you or you to it. We will, and the reason I say that is because of the next card. Like, you could be the one initiating a conversation or like pursuing something, because following the Knight of Wands, we have the Fool card, Uranus energy. And this is like taking a leap of faith. This is like, all right, I'm just gonna trust the process. I'm just gonna like go with how I'm feeling, right? And it looks like either you or somebody else, right? Roles could be reversed. I'm just reading it as I'm seeing it. But it looks like wanting to like go in a new direction, wanting to pursue something, you know? We have the Hierophant, Taurus energy showing up. This is all about like leveling up. That's Absalom, right? The smoking caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. And he is my favorite. I don't know if anybody has told you guys yet, but like, I love Absalom. And so when I think of Absalom, I'm thinking of somebody who is like really committed to their growth, like as a person, emotionally, like spiritually even, it's like you're really focused on your growth and your expansion, and through that growth and expansion there's risk taking, right? Because wisdom comes from that. Wisdom comes from experience and risk taking. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, which tells me that, because Four of Wands is the marriage card, right? And so with that in reverse, it's the opposite of marriage, right? It could be, you could be dealing with divorce or moving out, right? The Four of Wands also represents like the home. And I feel that with the Hierophant sitting next to it, it's like I feel that you're emotionally and spiritually just kind of like separating from something as well. Like if you were like focused on the past a lot, I feel you kind of like moving in a new direction or like redirecting your focus. What are you manifesting? A lot, apparently. Seven of Wands. Right now, there are a lot of doors open for you. A lot of potentials, right? I see that you have, like, the world is your oyster. Like, you have choices here on what direction you want to take it. And that could be part of it. Like, your manifestations right now are still kind of in limbo. They're up in the air because you're still formulating that. What it is that you want to pursue. And it starts with letting something go with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And with it being an Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like you're letting go of something that was very valuable to you at one point, something that was a lot, right? The Ace of Pentacles is the largest pentacle in the entire deck. So it's like the thing that you valued the most at a certain point. With the Ten of Wands in reverse here, I see you like putting down the emotional baggage, right? I see you like, because in both of these images, it's like rather than picking up the burden, you're setting it down, right? With the Chariot, this is Cancer energy. This is the card of movement, right? And this is moving out, moving on, moving up, moving forward, you know. It's like, but there's definite movement in the Chariot card. And what you're moving towards is this Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is the beginning of a love cycle. However, it is the Ace of Cups, right? Which indicates to me that, like, aces are one, right? And it's like you have to fill your own cup, and you're, like, learning to fill your own cup. You're learning to put your self-love first, right? To set boundaries, to take care of yourself, right? Spiritually, emotionally, physically, like however that looks to you, it's like you're really showing yourself love at this time, or you will be. We have the Judgment card, which tells me too that there could be a divorce, because that is the Court card. You know, also this is you making life-altering decisions, right? It's like your judgment in the moment is something that's really changing the trajectory or course of your life, hence the Seven of Wands, right? And we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Which is like reevaluating something here. I want to clarify that before I tell you what the next card is. Because, yeah, I want to see. Because I'm curious, okay? So, yeah, what is this Knight of Swords in reverse? So what is it that you're... Okay. I feel that, like, you redirect a lot of your focus by, like, really focusing on your work, because the Eight of Pentacles came out, which is, like, hard work, dedication, you know, working on yourself even, working on what matters to you, and then we have the Emperor, right? Aries energy. And so I feel that, like, you're just being very methodical. It's like you're not trying to rush into any direction. Like, you want to think things through. You want to put work in, you know, and like put work in on yourself, you know, on your job even. It's like you're just focused on your own personal, like, growth and development and betterment. You're trying to not, like, go back into old patterns or relive old narratives, right? Then we have the Page of Cups. So this is either you or somebody else, because we did have the Knight of Wands with the Fool card, which shows me that either you or somebody, like, either you have an admirer or you're admiring somebody else, or it could be mutual or whatever. But Page of Cups is like somebody wanting to make an offer, or somebody, like, extending their cup, you know, cups meaning, like, love, affection, emotions. Like, somebody is just like, take it and go. Like, you know. So, okay. Let's clarify this Page of Cups. Who is it? Yeah, this could be you, because you are showing up in the Emperor energy, whether you're male, female, whatever, doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine within us. The Emperor is simply just very business minded, right? Focused on their hustle, focused on their growth, focused on, you know, really becoming the best version of themselves, right? And that's really the energy that I see you sitting in. So I think this could be you in the Page of Cups energy, because with the King of Wands, you know, King of Fire, Emperor's fire energy as well, it tells me that, like, this could be you, right? And the King of Wands is very honest, very selfless, an excellent leader, somebody who's creative in their field, somebody who, you know, really awakens the inspiration in others. Like, you'd make an excellent hype man if you have the energy for it. You know, it's like the King of Wands is just very uplifting, and, like, you know, the King of the Sunlight. Then we have the Strength card. Alright, strength, courage, bravery. This is Leo energy. So you got a lot of fire coming out too. You have a lot of signs out, actually. We've got Leo, Aries, Taurus, and with the moon, we have Pisces. So, it could really be any signs. This is just the energy of the cards, right? The strength card, though, does indicate that a lot of your strength is in restraint. It's not like, because if you see, like, the lion is not mauling this, like, unicorn. They're playing together, right? They're hanging out. And I feel like through, like, this softening and this gentle energy, it's like that is a personal strength of yours, right? Like being able to not just act on impulses and not just like, because you think things through, you're logical, you're rational, you're like, what do I really want? I'm not gonna let my emotions like overtake me and pull me into the wrong direction, right? It's very mature energy. I appreciate it a lot. With the moon card, something here is coming to light, right? With the Page of Cups, it's like somebody, I feel like it could, I don't know, it could be flip-flopped, but this is the energy I'm seeing here. The moon card indicates like something coming to light, or like seeing a situation for what it was. With the Eight of Cups, this is also walking away from a situation. And if you see, like, the moon is the same, like, it's in each card. So it's almost like once something is discovered here, it's like I see you walking away from something. So what does that mean? Alright, let's see. The moon. Let's clarify. What is discovered? Oh. Then what are you walking away from? Okay. So, the moon was clarified by the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, right? So what is discovered here is, because the Emperor is all the kings in the upright, right? And I'm seeing a couple kings popping up. The King of Wands, King of Cups. The King of Cups is the King of Love, right? This is somebody who's like in their feelings. Also, somebody who's very mature, right? And knows how to stay on top of their feelings. Because, like, he's out in it, right? And the water represents emotions, but he is still above it, right? It's like he's not letting himself sink and drown. Like, there's still that rational thought of, like, okay, I'm not going to allow it to consume me. However, I'm out in this. So what comes to light is either you or somebody else catches the feelings, right? And what you're manifesting is this Ten of Pentacles, right? The Ten of Pentacles is generational wealth, right? And on top of that, it's like the dynamics of connections that you want, like if you want a relationship, it's, it's focused on being abundant in that and like being successful in that and choosing a successful path. We're going to dive deeper into that. Before I continue on that, we're going to talk about what you're walking away from, because with the Eight of Cups, it's like once this whole thing comes to light and these emotions kind of pop up and this idea for a future pops up, then you're walking away from something. You're running away, right? Walking away from the water, right? Like walking away from like old feelings. And the Eight of Cups, those cups represent like things that you've invested so much time and energy and um, life into, right? And so you're walking away from something that you were very invested in. And what you're walking away from is this tower, right? It's clarified by the tower, which is something that fell apart, right? Something that crumbled, and which we already discussed, like with the Four of Wands in reverse, the Judgment, Knight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Like there's a lot of energy that there is a release here. You're releasing something from the past. You're walking away from something that fell apart. Yeah, with the Queen of Wands in reverse, this could be somebody, like, okay, let me tell you what the Queen of Wands is in the upright to help you better understand what the Queen of Wands is in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse, this is part of what you're walking away from, okay? Or the Queen of Wands in the upright. Let's first talk about that, then I'll explain the reverse. She is like, Wands, first of all, represents like honest communication, right? Motivation, passion, conviction, loyalty, you know, like this is also like passions running high, inspiration, motivation, you know, so she's the queen of all of that. She's the most attractive queen in the entire deck because she's just so magnetic. Like her energy is beautiful, right? It's just beautiful. And with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it's like this is somebody who is the opposite of all those things, right? This is somebody who, like, was deceitful, right? Honest communication in reverse. This is somebody who was like sneaky or shady, somebody who probably had trust issues, attachment style issues, I'm hearing, like, and like this is somebody who like has a short temper, somebody who, you know, their passions run high, but in like a negative sense, you know, and it's a lot. Alright, that's a lot to deal with, and it makes sense. It feels like a karmic situation. Like this person, as much as you wanted to invest in them, it's like it was a burden, right? And it crumbled, it fell apart with the tower in reverse. And with the Four of Swords in reverse, too, it's like this person did not really give themselves the kind of self-care that they needed, right? It's like they may have like treated themselves to certain things, but that's not the same as self-care, right? Taking bubble baths and like getting your nails done, that's not the same. Because when I think of self-care, I think of self-love. Love is a verb. It's not just a feeling. So, because sometimes you won't be like feeling it. Sometimes you might like, you know, but love perseveres, right? Love just does, regardless of if you're feeling it or whatever, you know. And so the act of self-love to me is like speaking kindly of yourself, right? That's number one rule of self-respect. Speak to and about yourself like you're somebody that you respect. Okay, like it's not just about the clothes you wear and the people you fuck, right? It's about like, do you respect yourself and honor yourself when you're talking to and about yourself, right? It's not crazy to talk to yourself, it's crazy to make an enemy of yourself. And it's like this person, they had negative views on themselves, right? They didn't really show themselves like real, genuine self-love. They weren't patient with themselves. They weren't kind to themselves. They probably put themselves down, or they had deep insecurities that also like caused issues in the connection as well. And somebody who genuinely loves themselves typically doesn't project insecurities, right? And the reason for that is because they don't have them, right? Even their weakest point is still a strength, right? Because they know how to love each part of themselves. They know that each part of themselves, their ego, the shadow self, the higher self, all that. Every single part of themselves is worthy of love, right? Is worthy of patience, is worthy of forgiveness, is worthy of, that kindness. And so they, when somebody is secure in themselves, if they have a secure attachment style, then that is what will be relayed in their connections and everything. This person, when I look at these cards, I feel sad for them, right? Because it's almost like they don't even give themselves a chance, they can't care about themselves, right? It's like because they have been so programmed and so indoctrinated by everything that they're just like, they struggle to care for themselves, And that's probably why they have ego trips too, right? That's probably why the ego flares up as bad as it does, because the ego is like trying to fight for itself. It's trying to bring in confidence, but that's coming off as arrogance because it's not authentic, right? And then it causes them to have like a lack mindset where they're just constantly seeking more, constantly needing more, like nothing is ever enough, but they don't want you to have more, right? They want, like for you to accept the bare minimum from them, but they want the maximum from you, right? It's like, it's very non-reciprocal. And I feel that through your maturity, it's like you see it, like you can't just keep playing that out because you respect yourself, you love yourself. You're showing up as King of Wands with the Ace of Cups, And so I do see that, and that's why you guys like don't vibe too, because you're not on the same frequency, right? You're not in that frequency of self-loathing, right? You're not in that frequency of feeling insecure or whatever. Like, you're in this energy of feeling passionate and driven, and like you want to take risks, and you want to do things, you want to live, right? You want to feel alive while you're alive, and that's the energy that's really showing up here. But this person is in a personal hell, right? Then we have showing up, which I'm going to clarify all these because I'm going to clarify. We have the Knight of Pentacles, right? The Knight of the Earth, which to me is like something very slow moving, right? The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight in the deck that's standing still, right? He is not in movement. And to me, it's like there's a level of preparation, preparedness. Like, he's all dressed up, ready to go. He's got everything that he needs. He's resourceful in that way. He's also not in a hurry, right? He's not in a hurry. He's just chilling. He's like, you want this or no? So let's clarify the Knight of Pentacles. It'd be funny if the Knight of Cups was that after I said that. This is clarified by the Nine of Swords. This is an overthinker. They could be overthinking this, or you could be if it's you. Because you've got a lot of knights out on the board, right? You could have a lot of people, like a lot of potential suitors, especially with the Seven of Wands. Or you could have one, right? At least. At least one. You got a Page of Cups, you got the Knight of Cups, and Knight of Wands. Wait, do you have the Knight of Cups? No, you have the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. I keep saying Knight of Cups. But then I see this energy of overthinking, right? I see this energy of being in your head and not like knowing, like it's like going back and forth, like what do I want, like, and that's why it's something is very slow moving, because it's like there's a lot of overthinking. There's a lot of like in your head or in their head if it's somebody else, right? Then we have the Page of Wands, right? And this is another Sutta, right? And this is the Page of Wands. It's like, look how they're a pimp, dude. Look how clean that they are. I want that outfit, like. So the Page of Wands is, coming in with a message, right? Good news or an offer. You got a lot of offers on the board here. With the Nine of Cups, this does look like this is wish fulfillment, right? This is like, yeah, I'm seeing wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups represents like the genie card, right? It's like, well, your wish is your command. Like, what do you want? The universe is like, okay, like, time for you to be redeemed for, the shit that you just experienced. So here are some options for you, What do you want? That is so confusing. It's saying Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius in reverse, right? It's like, what you want is to not wait, right? With the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's also like kind of saying like what you want. See, I'm gonna have to clarify your clarifiers, right? With the Six of Wands in reverse, it's like, you don't want to wait. Let's clarify it, right? With the Page of Pentacles in reverse, what is this? Three of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. What you want is something that it looks like you're reluctant to pursue, right? What you want is the one thing that's not chasing you. With the Three of Pentacles, it's like, this is somebody who shows up like, they could be like somebody that you've met at work or like a roommate or something. But this is somebody who like shows up in this energy of not necessarily like needing you, right? Not necessarily like begging for your attention, right? With the Six of Wands in reverse. It's like you want somebody who shows up as an equal, not somebody who treats you like you're superior to them, if that makes sense. It's like you're not looking for that dynamic. It's like there's, or vice versa, right? But yeah, it's like all these suitors and these people like kind of coming in and talking, right? I don't know if you're like online dating or whatever. That would explain like a lot of offers and opportunities or whatever. But it's like there's all these options, right? And what you actually want is the one that's not like begging for your attention. The one that's like, you know, building a friendship with you with the Three of Pentacles. And with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, they're not asking for that. Well, what's your advice? Your advice here is the Five of Cups in reverse. And that's saying, like, to let go of the past disappointments and not to compare, right? First and foremost, don't compare. But also what I'm noticing too is, because like with the Three of Cups here, like in the upright, it's like him focused on these three, or with the Five of Cups here, right? It's like he's focused on these three cups that, you know, spilled over, and he's all disappointed, and he's like, what the fuck, you know? And he doesn't realize, like, there's these two cups that are completely full in the back, right? And with that in reverse, it's like, rather than paying attention to what spilled, like, turn around and look at what's full, right? So that's the advice here. What's funny about that is that the Two of Cups also showed up, right? And so it's telling you to redirect your energy towards the Two of Cups. And Two of Cups is the card of union or partnership, right? Filling each other's cups. With the Cheshire Cat over the top, it looks like there could be like some divine guidance in this union. But it does look like your advice here is to pursue what it is that, because I mean, with the King of Cups, it's like showing up in that energy of like the King of Love, you know? So, alright, what else do you need to hear before we close this out? Alright, we will pull some Kali cards. Like, rather than focusing on what doesn't work, it's like asking you to like look at what does, right? Like, yeah, anyway. Debbie Macaulay. No matter what you've done, no matter how many mistakes you've made, Kali is here for you always. Yours is a safety and sanctuary for divine love. She is your soft place to fall and your kindest and most enthusiastic advocate. Let her shift your experience from endless tasks and ever greater expectations into the sweet relief and comforting connection. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. There's a few more. Lalita Tripura Sundari. A chapter in your life is closing and will not be reopened. This will be a reason for celebration. Whatever you need to release right now shall create the space for what is divinely destined for you to manifest through her grace. You shall enjoy a change of pace and a release from intensity. Open your heart to the beginning of a golden era. Dhumavati. Certain endings are unavoidable. They are necessary precursors to radical reinvention. Any disappointment, defeat, or loss and the negative repercussions of such experiences will not limit your future happiness, but are opening up yet unrecognized pathways for fulfillment. Your trust must be unconditional at this time, and later you shall see that everything has worked out for the absolute best. Vajrakali. There's not always a need to try and grapple and conquer. Sometimes the need is simply to let go. Just because another has created a certain reality for themselves and is attempting to draw you in, it does not mean that you must participate. You have the divinely granted gift of choosing where to invest your energy. Be kind to yourself. And I think that's important too. Like, make sure that you're not just being a yes person, right? You're really focusing on the life that you want and the kind of energies that you want in your life. So, don't entertain that which doesn't match up to that. And shit, we should all be there, right? Where we're just not entertaining unnecessary shit. And that can be hard too, because with all these cards coming out, it's like you have people like kind of coming in and swooping in, and you're just, and it's telling you, be picky, be selective, choose accordingly. Like, don't just, don't just get pulled into something, right? Because I see that can happen, right? There's a temptation there, right? Where you could get pulled into a thing, and it's really telling you, rather than like allowing yourself to be pulled in a direction, you direct your course. You decide where you want to go and what you want to do, like how you want to pursue that, if you want to pursue that, make sure that you are making your best decisions, and your best judgment. And like, one thing I have started like really thinking about too is like, when we choose partners, right? Because this reading does look like that is a big focal point here, right? And so when we do choose partners, like, ask yourself, if you have a kid, or if, just fathom that you have a kid. If you don't, like, imagine you do. And think about these suitors, right? and really ask yourself, would you want your kid to date somebody like that? Is this somebody that you would want your friends, like, put an outside perspective on that, because that shit is important. You want to know that, like, the kind of person that you are pursuing, if you feel like that they reach a standard that is high enough for your own kin, right? Then, feel like safe in that pursuit. However, if you're chasing somebody that you're like, man, if my kid were to bring home somebody like this, I don't know, like, and that really changes the game. It changes a lot. When I started thinking about that, I was like, shit, I don't know about, even dating, because I don't know if anyone's deserving of my kids, and it's like, but in the sense of, like, you're somebody's kid, right? Like, your family cares about the kind of person that you choose to be with. Like, what's their heart like? Do they have integrity? Are they kind? Like, do they fit the bill, if you will. So, really be selective. Like, allow yourself that pickiness. That is your right. you know, to choose what is right for you. And so that is what I have for you. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.